Loving and holy God, our Creator Christ and Guide, you speak the words of life to us. In you we find our heart's desire. By your grace we are saved. When the way forward is unclear, you shed light. When we are troubled, you give peace. When times are difficult, you stir courage and hope. Our deepest longing is to know you and to be known by you. In these difficult days, we praise you for your faithfulness to us. Draw near to us in our time of worship and open the way before us so that we may follow Jesus without wavering, trusting him to lead us. Amen. I miss the days of photo albums. I still have a couple of albums that document our family's history. Once in a while, I blow the dust off it to look at the pictures. The fascinating thing is that when you look at those old pictures, they take you back to the time when the photo was taken. It opens the door to a lot of memories. Some of those memories are happy memories, and some of them are not. Some of those snapshots in my photo album bring back memories that I would rather want to forget. I want to frame and keep some of those pictures, but then there are those that I want to throw away. Those pictures remind me of the moments in my life that I'm not proud of. They are the kind of images that I would delete from the album of my life, if I could. I certainly wouldn't want anyone else to see them. And yet, we all have those kinds of pictures in our lives. We've all looked at bad pictures of ourselves, images that show us to be less than or other than we know ourselves to be or want to be. There is, however, more to us than that one picture can show. I suspect we know that. We just don't live it. We're too quick to see that one picture, that one snapshot in time, as descriptive and representative of who we are and what our life is like. We take that one photograph of ourselves and say, this is me, this is my life, this is all there will ever be. We hold that picture as a final judgment or description of ourselves. And sometimes we take that kind of photograph and hold them up to another and say, look at what you did. This is who you are. This is how I will always see you. But can a single snapshot really tell the whole story? No. Life is more like a movie, an ongoing story that is active, dynamic, changing, and unpredictable. There is more to Peter than the snapshot we are given in today's gospel. And there's more to you and me than those snapshots we want to rip out of our life's album. Every snapshot exists within a larger story. And that's true for Peter, and it's true for you and me. Today's gospel is just one snapshot of Peter. Peter takes Jesus aside and rebukes him. Jesus turns and rebukes Peter and calls him Satan. You are the deceiver. You are the adversary. You are the tempter. You are out of line, Peter. Get behind me. Do you believe that one picture is all there is to Peter? I don't. It's only 4 verses earlier that Peter is the confessor, the one who recognizes Jesus. You are the Messiah. Those are 2 very pictures of the same man. Remember the day Peter stepped out of the boat, full of faith, and walked on water? The same water on which Jesus walked. That's a picture worth framing and hanging on the wall. But if you took another picture just a few minutes later, you would see Peter shrinking, scared, crying out for help, and Jesus saying, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Or how about the picture of Peter as the rock on which Jesus will build the church? Set that one next to the image of the cock crowing Peter's free denials of Jesus. I'm sure Peter would like to lose that snapshot of him sleeping in the Garden of Gethsemane while Jesus prayed and being awakened by Jesus' question, "So, could you not stay awake with me 1 hour?" Compare that picture to the one of Jesus saying to Peter in the Gospel of John, "Feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep." Jesus also experienced conflicting snapshots of life. Compare two pictures of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. "Father, remove this cup from me," and "Not what I want, but what you want." Look at the different snapshots of Jesus on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me?" And "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." We all have those contradictory pictures in our life. Each one of us could go back and pick out the bad picture days of our life. We tend to describe our life as a single picture. We define ourselves or our life through a particular event, which is fine, but then we so often make the leap that that description is all we are and all our life will ever be. We allow that one snapshot in time to stand as a final judgment. What if we took those snapshots of life for what they are? What if we looked at them as merely one moment in time, a single still frame that is part of our life's movie? What if that one picture isn't the final judgment, but only information about what is happening in us? Information about our fear, our wounds, our hopes, our needs, our struggles. What if it's just a picture of us at a particular time and place, trying to do the best we could with what we had? And it may not be our best picture. It may look as if we blew it, like we didn't try very hard, or that we weren't the person we wanted to be. But I think most of us do the best we can with what we have in those moments. Sometimes life is difficult, overwhelming, and scary. And sometimes faith does push us to our limits. Sometimes life does give us what we had asked for or wanted. What if there is always more to that picture than what we often see? It would be so easy to look at the snapshot of Peter in today's gospel and say that he just blew it. He was not a good disciple. He was not faithful. He was out of line when he rebuked Jesus. He got called out by Jesus. That's probably not a picture Peter wants to carry around and show others. But what if Jesus' rebuke of Peter, the sting of being called Satan, is just Jesus saying, "Peter, that's not who you are. I know you. You are more than what you have become at this moment. Wake up. Claim your belovedness. Trust my calling of you. Return to yourself." Every picture has more than one interpretation. We can look at those snapshots of our life and let them bind us to the past and forever label and judge us or another. Or we can look at them and say, "Wow, that was a terrible picture day, but that's not me, and it's not who I want to be." And we let those pictures call us back to ourselves, back to our center, back to our original beauty. We allow that bad picture to call us into a new life and a new way of being. And that's what Jesus is doing with Peter today. And it's what he is continually doing with us. Jesus repeatedly calls us back to ourselves, letting us see ourselves through his eyes, reminding us of who we truly are and who we can become. What do you see when you look through the album of your life? What are the snapshots of your life today that bind you to the past? Which pictures do you want to delete and never see again? What are the terrible picture days that you try to hide from? As much as we might like to hide, delete, or Photoshop those pictures, they have some value for us. The very things that haunt us can become our teachers. The very things that we don't want to hear about ourselves can become a calling into a new life. The very things we do not wish to see in our life can show us a different way of being. Whatever those pictures might be, regardless of what they might show, they always exist in a larger story. No one would buy a ticket to the movie and watch only a single still frame and claim to have seen and understood the movie. Why would we do that to ourselves or another? That's certainly not what Jesus does to Peter. The rock that sank in the waters of doubt is also the foundation of the church. The denier of Jesus is also the feeder of Jesus' sheep. Jesus sees more than the snapshot of the moment. And if that's true for Peter, it's also true for us. Maybe we should gather up those photographs we want to throw away and look at them one more time, this time with the eyes of Jesus, and look for what we've not seen before. The beauty hidden with disfigurement, the light that shines in the darkness, the healing that comes from great suffering, the belonging that overcomes rejection, the life that arises from death, the hope that stands amidst despair. That just might be what Jesus meant when he rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me." It's not the snapshots of our life that define us. It's Christ. It's the love of Christ that sees in us more than we often see in ourselves or one another. Amen.